Okay, so let's take it from the top. So, Baba, how are you? Welcome to our show. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Oh, great. Thank you very much for asking. So in the studio with me, we have Olivia.
Hi.
Olivia, hello.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi there.
So yeah, on this show, obviously this time we're looking to talk about you and your new products. But if we start from from the start, and let's go ask you to introduce yourself. Tell us what you do and a little bit about your product, please.
Right, okay. So my name is Baba. Yeah, I'm Nigerian born. I'm married. I have 3 kids. And I'm an IT professional by day, but I have my own brand of chili sauces, BabasFujiFuji. And I'll give you a quick summary about my story. So I've been cooking now for over 20 years or thereabout, even more than that, about 25 years or so. So I mostly do grilling, but when I was quite young, I used to stay in the kitchen with my mom. Then from then on, I picked up some skills. So it wasn't like I was taught on what to do. I just picked it up and I grew my interest in cooking from then on. Then I think over time, I discovered that for every time I wanted to make any barbecue product, chicken, beef, I have to just put a few spices together and come up with a recipe. So in 2017, I decided to standardize that process. And I made a recipe and it was really good for the barbecue I was having at home. And just in the kitchen, we all decided to say, oh, well, reggae is all right. Maybe we should find something similar to that for this one. And someone just said Fuji, and another person just said, oh, yeah, Fuji. So we picked it up. It sounded quite nice at the time. Fuji still sounds still sounds really good. And we labeled it Fuji. But then we had the company name as Barbecue Grill, or the brand name as Barbecue Grill, then the source name as FujiFuji. So fast forward in 2020, we decided to, standardize everything else and put it out there in the market. Then COVID hit. I always say this, that before COVID, I did a lot of competitive analysis and it was quite solid data. But between my analysis and when COVID hit, the number of sources that were made available in the market due to the fact that people now started to reach out to their inner entrepreneur spirit quadrupled. But that hasn't deterred us at all. We still launched in 2020. It hasn't been the smoothest ride, but with persistence, we are able to. We've continued to forge on. We are in over 17 stores in the Essex, London area, and we kicked off with the original. We've done the Baba's all-purpose FujiFuji chili sauce original. We have the hot. Then we have the chili jam. We have the rub. We have the fiery flame. That's one of the new products now. Then we have the cooking sauce. And the cooking sauce is solid for, meatball sauce, pasta sauce, chicken sauce. Now, taking 2 steps back, people will say, oh, Fuji, how did you come about the name, or what does that stand for? Now, Fuji is a genre of music in Nigeria. It's synonymous to entertainment. People who listen to Fuji and they're all very happy, dancing and excited. So we just mirrored it to, the whole descriptive nature of the genre in itself. It's what you feel when you eat my sauces, when you have it with anything. And I say here that these sauces are fantastic. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. This is based on the feedbacks I've heard from customers. You know, it's multi-purpose in most parts. You know, marinade, table sauce, dip, and whatever you want to use it for. It's, you know, you first think, this, I'm not sure, but once you taste it, you don't want to stop. So I hope, you know, I've been able to cover up all the bases in a few minutes.
No, absolutely. That is a very comprehensive answer, I must say.
Sorry it took too long.
No, not at all. Because I like the explanation about the name FujiFuji. I'm Nigerian originally myself, so Joe Fuji. So we know that one. And I thought, to me, when I heard the name FujiFuji, I thought this thing must be so spicy that when you eat it, you just start dancing. Oh, Pepe, oh, you know. But it's good to get the full history behind it. And I think the question that came from your answers to me really is, you said COVID hit just before you launched, but you still proceeded. So what gave you that conviction to think, no, regardless of what's happening, I'm just gonna do this because I believe in it?
Yeah, I think that's the answer right there. I believe in my product. We don't have that financial power at the moment, but we have a product. And if we continue to push this product, eventually we'll catch the attention of a lot of people and our growth will suddenly become exponential. But you see, to get to that place, if we don't push and forge ahead, we'll never know whether or not the growth will be exponential or will be flat. But we're optimistic against all odds. You know, and we thought, well, COVID has hit. It's hit already. We have a good product. Let's still continue to push it out there. We will continue to grow our market share. You know, and as I said, if you don't push, if you don't take that leap of faith, you'll never know.
No, absolutely. Olivia, you have anything for our guest?
Yeah, I mean, listening to your story, I love how the name for your brand, it's like so personal and it's unique. And I kind of love that, because with other businesses, it's either like a simple or the same, if that makes any sense. But how you came up with the name yourself, I like it, how you connected it to your roots. And I just wanted to know, how long did it take you to perfect your sauces?
Well, it didn't take too long because, as I said previously, over time, anytime I'm called upon or I'm making some grill or making some food, I have to come up with a recipe anyway. So what you find is, and it's a bad habit that many of us have, the fact that we can rustle something together doesn't mean we shouldn't measure. So you just find that I just rustle stuff together. I rarely measure, and it still comes out nice. So what I just added to that was a piece of paper and a pen, and I started to write down, and I started to adjust it. You know, I started to make changes. Now, the first, if you on my social media page, Instagram, you see that I've had a few iterations that we put out there, and the only reason why they changed was because I wasn't quite satisfied until we got to the last iteration for the original FujiFuji original, which was 2020. I think it was early 2020 or late 2019. And I was like, well, the thickness is solid, the taste is solid, the look, the texture, good. And we powered through with that one. So it didn't take too long because I'd already started the journey. I wasn't just aware of it until I put pen to paper, started to write down all the elements I was mixing together.
Okay, that is yeah, I like that. I feel that answer because, as you said, you know, we all learn to cook from young age, and you know, you get there, you just know, okay, you this much rice, this much, so just add it all together. You don't, but it's only, yeah, only when I go to this country, then I think, oh, you have to put 2 tablespoons of salt. You think, which one is tablespoons? Well, yeah, so for you, it was natural, it was already there. So it was finished. It's just making sure you bring into the sort of add business to it. The product was already there. Great answer. And I think let's go into my next question, really, as to, so you're doing this now, is this just a part-time thing, or is this, you know, is this something you're looking to build a career of? You want to spread this worldwide? Or what's the dream? What's the dream behind?
So the dream is to have every household in the UK and beyond to patronize my product. And yes, absolutely is what I do on the side at the moment. I have a full-time, I'm an IT professional by day, but by night, I do my best to push my product out there. So the idea eventually, you know, and I have to be honest, Levi Roots is one of my, one of the people I look up to, you know, because he was, yes, I had the idea, I wanted to do it, but you see, he kind of like paved the way because he was able to break through. And look at him now. And it's not far-fetched for someone like me as well to take my product and try and just break through, perhaps not in the same fashion, but just break through and get the products on the market shelves and in places that people, you know, that I wouldn't have even dreamt of, even online. So the ultimate goal is to get a lot of people to get voluminous, you know, sales, get the product in households, let people use it, to let people enjoy it. You know, money is secondary, but there's nothing as good as you seeing people eating your sauce and really leaving amazing comments. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's really great. I'll hand over to you, Olivia.
Yeah, I mean, following up from that question, obviously when I checked out your website, it got all your products are gluten-free and they're like vegan and suitable for vegetarians. And I think because your products do that, more people, how shall I put it? More people want to like buy it more, like you make it more accessible for people. And I think, yeah, I think that's good, because I think that's branching out and making it, you know, more people can have it in their home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me that was quite important. The only thing we haven't really gotten right is getting many people to take notice of all that you said. You know, it's vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly, it's gluten free as well. You know, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And we are now hoping that we can spread the word more and more, expand our reach beyond where we currently are reaching. So I'm hoping that people will hear what you said and they now have the opportunity to take a look at it and see it's true, then purchase.
Oh, absolutely. Because especially in this day and age, you know, it's something we want to cater for everybody. That's one. But the second is actually not unknowingly giving somebody something they shouldn't eat. So I remember taking my friend for suya back in the days, and he's like, oh, he was eating it and he loved it. And before we know it, his throat was swelling up, and we found out it was not allergic, you know, but only until then, before I found out, I didn't even know anything about not allergy. So it's great that you thought about that. And you know, I hope every listener, they can take you on board and go and check you all out, and you know, it's safe for all, you know. And while we're on that note, where can we go and find out all about you, the sources, new up and coming sources, maybe? where are they go-to places? Social media or websites or where?
So I think the main driver is the website, our website, BabasFujiFuji.com. I think on there you see all our products. They're all available now for purchase, for delivery, both as single products or as a bundle. Again, we are in small shops around the Essex, London, and Hertfordshire area. We have our stockist list as well on our website, just in case people decide that, you know what, we don't want to buy online, we want to go into a shop. You can see them there as well. So, yeah, so my website is the central hub where all these products can be purchased, BabasFujiFuji.com.
Perfect. Just go on BabasFujiFuji.com and we'll find all the products. You can click and order directly from there, or you can go to the local stores. Do you have the addresses of the local stores published on your website? Or
yes, absolutely. So we have a page called the Stockist. Once you go on there, you see their lists, you see their addresses, and you'll be able to get their coordinates on Google or their postcodes and whatnot. Everything's on our website anyway. You'll be able to see where you can go to purchase them.
That is great. That's awesome. Olivia, you have any other questions?
Yeah, I mean, because with your product, you can use it for like marinating, for cooking or grilling meat or vegetables. And I was just wondering, out of all your products, which one do you use the most? Like, which one is your favorite if you have to pick one?
Well, my favorite is the Baba's all-purpose FujiFuji chili sauce, hot, the hot one. That's my favorite one because it's hot, but it's not stingy. It's sweet, tasty, spicy, and the heat is a few seconds after you taste it. So it's a solid combination. You still feel the heat, but it adds that flavor to your meals, and you can't miss it.
Yeah, wow. So basically, that's like one of your best products to use. What would you use it on? Like, what type of meals?
Anything, name it. Pizza
Anything.
base, burger sauce, table sauce, meatball sauce, anything. Your salad, it goes well with salad as well. Anything, your wrap, your dip, anything. Your fish, your lamb, it goes well with everything.
So it's endless, really. You can have so many possibilities.
Yeah, all purpose. All purpose.
That's making me really hungry. You mentioned too many food right there. So as you said, let's just digress a little bit from, so you do IT by day, and then by night you're cooking up these sauces. When you're not doing this, what do you do in your spare time?
Oh, I have 3 kids, so I have to take care of them and my wife. I have to take care of my family. I try to cycle sometimes, and I try to run as well. So in my spare time, when I can, I cycle, I run, it's a must. I take up my family first before the business, but in my spare time, I cycle and I run.
That is it, because, you have to feed the soul, feed the body, you end up feeding the mind.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and as we're kind of closing to get into a wrap up, what messages would you like to say to your viewers? What would you like to say to them?
So what I like to say to them is, we've come through, we've all come out of the whole frenzy around COVID-19. Many of us, we've lost loved ones, and we've been impacted by one way or the other, and we're still here. So yeah, I'm really grateful that I'm here, and we've been able to continue to push our products, even coming up with new products amidst this whole unfortunate incident with COVID-19. Now that said, I just, they say seeing is believing, but in my case, it's tasting is believing. That, I mean, I have a solid product, and I would really like people to try them out. You know, try them out and tell me if you wouldn't buy more. You know, the only way you would know is if you try it out. And I can guarantee, based on all the feedbacks we've got, you know, we were at North London this past Saturday, and it was an amazing turnout. People really, really loved it. The majority of those that tasted it, they loved it. So I'm not saying it because I want to. I'm saying it because this is what people are saying. So I want you guys to join the list of those giving positive feedbacks by going onto our website and supporting our new business.
Super. That's BabasFujiFuji.com. Awesome. Olivia, you have any wrap-up questions?
Well, I mean, I just want to thank you for coming on to the show as well.
Thank you.
And because I found out about this product as well, and it got me interested in it, and I just hope it get other people interested in it and
Thank you.
buy your products, really, because they all sound really, really tasty. Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
that is really true. They sound extremely amazing. You know, I was there scrolling with Olivia. We're going through your website. We're seeing the marinated meats, and yeah, it just looks like something that's been missing for a while. I know we've got the reggae sauce, but this is the African. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
From the roots.
Absolutely. Tasting is believing. Tasting is believing.
That is absolute. So let me ask you one of my random questions. You know, they say nothing. So what would you say to your 10-year-old son, to your 10-year-old self, knowing what you know right now? What advice would you give to your 10-year-old self?
Well, the advice I'll give to my 10-year-old self is that I would start exposing my 10-year-old self at 10-year-old to the advantages of early starters. You know, you're not too young to think about things you like to do. You're not too young to think about innovation. You're not too young to think about, you know, other than education, what else can you use your hands to do? So I'll continue to encourage my 10-year-old self that, look, at 10, I know you have to go to school, go to uni, but what else can your hands do? Don't sit on them and just do education. Do education, but also think about what your hands can do. So that will be my advice to my 10-year-old self.
That's a perfect advice. That is really good. I'll take that on board myself. And you know, the second part of that question now is, so if you could go back to the beginning, you know, being a baby, but knowing everything you know now, or right now, everything you would learn for the rest of your life, you just know it right this very minute. Which way would you go? Would you go back, or would you stay and just absorb everything?
Well, that's an interesting question, because I'm only here now because of all the experiences I have lived. So, you know, I'm quite old now, and I've gone through life, and life has led me here. Now, if I was 10 years old, or if at 10, I was exposed to all that I know now, I mean, there's nothing to say that I wouldn't be somewhere else, not here. So I think for me, I like where I am. I like where I am. However, for my kids, I'm introducing them to this life at a very early stage, which is different from the experience I had because of the time and the season that I grew up.
So, so I'm guessing you would stay where you are.
Yeah, I like where I am. I would rather be where I am. Yeah.
No, absolutely. So you won't change the past. you just build on
No,
from now to the future?
Absolutely.
Oh, I like that. That is really great. So well, Olivia, do you have any final remarks, or anybody else has any final remarks?
I mean, I just like what you just said now about that you wouldn't change anything, that the past got you to where you are now.
Absolutely.
And I kind of love that really, and love how you kind of said it in a way. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think for me, the past is what builds us to where we are, regardless of where we are, to be honest. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed our conversation, and I was looking forward to meeting you, and it was good, or it is good, definitely. So thank you very much, guys.
That is great. Thank you so much for coming. And just as a quick wrap up, what is in the pipeline for you? So I know you have obviously more chili sauces, but what is that one thing that we're like, okay, this so time we have to go and find maybe this sauce, maybe it's got onions in it, maybe it's got little choritos in it. Don't know. Tell us.
So, well, what we have in the pipeline is to actually put together a strategy of marketing and some PR. So we have, we'll be announcing our next pop-up locations where we'll be there physically to sell our sauces. And I'm really hoping that, anyone in that region, once we have the information, can come out to support us, and help spread the word for us.
That would be absolutely amazing. You just make sure you let us know. Even
Absolutely.
if we're not in that region, we will travel there.
Thank you for the support.
Say, what's 1,000 miles between friends, eh? So yeah, well, until we meet again, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to
Thank you very much.
It's been great.
Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Polly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Babas. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Awesome. I love the station. Power Ace Radio.